Hi friends, this is Dr. Ashisha for Someone Web Briefings. In picture you are seeing in the map a place called Vedhe, which is the residence of President Putin. You can see furthermore aerial shots of the same. Uh, and he has another mention which was shown in the picture. So you can see more satellite images of Putin's residence. So the drone attack, 91 drones came to attack Putin's palace, out of which many were shooted out quite early, while some of them were able to reach nearby positions. So this is what has happened and has shaken the world as well as the American President Trump, who was trying to get a negotiation or peace deal between Zelensky and President Putin. So now there is a big question mark on what's happening exactly in Russia Ukraine war and what is the game plan. So let us try to analyze the same here for the benefit of all our readers. But before we start, we must also make it clear that there are the whole world is actually divided into two groups. One, those who believe that the attack has indeed happened, and the others who believe that it's a fake story. So, till we get further details, no one is sure about whether the attack indeed happened or not. But for the facts, PM Narendra Modi has tweeted and showing his displeasure and anger for this cowardly attack on President Putin's residence. Even President Trump has also shown his anger towards this incident, and that was in a live media briefing. So now we have to basically understand what is happening on the in the geopolitics and especially with this Ukraine-Russia war. Now, as you know, the important characters are President Putin, Zelensky. These are the two main protagonists. While the countries that are interested are besides Russia and Ukraine, there is France, there is Germany, and there is UK, and of course America is there as a peacemaker. So, actually, what is happening? Who is truth and who is playing mischief here? The whole thing is so complex and complicated that one has to really dig in and understand all the situations and all the characters very well. So, first thing first, see, Russia sees Ukraine as part of its erstwhile USSR hegemony. So, after Crimea and Georgia, it wants to annex Ukraine with it. However, it thought that it might be easy and add up very fast, but it has not so because the Western support to Ukraine. Now, the Western leaders cleverly put Zelensky in charge of Ukraine through a systematic strategy and plan. They wanted Ukraine to join NATO. Now, Ukraine was looking forward to a membership of NATO, which has a provision under its Article 5 that if any of its member is attacked, then it will be considered as an attack on the whole NATO member countries. Now, like Russia, Zelensky also thought that this will be easily done. So, this was a race that triggered this war. Now, what is the position of others? See, Germany always regarded Russia as its enemy because it fears that Russia can easily take over its territory. Similarly, France also has fear of Russia that it can overrun their lands. So most of the European nations they get after one another and show solidarity because of this Russian power, or that is their perspective. Whether it's a perception-based fear, whether it truly exists or not is another thing. Now Russia is having an edge over Ukraine in this current war, so it doesn't want to leave its territorial land that it has got and wants to further get more land out of Ukraine. So that is its strategy. Also, the Russians have studied President Trump very well to the extent that they know what he's going to say and what he's going to do. And that's why they are playing their cards very smartly as against the Europeans and the Americans. As of now, approximately 20% of Ukraine land has been seized by Russian through this invasion. Initially, it got Kharkiv and Kherson also, but later on, in a counter-offensive, the Ukrainian forces got back Kharkiv and also some Kherson. As you can see, these are border countries adjoining Russia, and so it was easy for Russia to annex them uh, in their early attack. Now, Russia is claiming another areas like Donbass and the adjoining areas near to it. See, Kiev is more on the western side, and that's why it's safe so far. So while Germany has historical reasons about its fears and enmity with Russia, France has also some fear because of the Russian expansionist policies. UK is sort of ally of America, and it works as per the dictate of USA. So as of now, France, Germany, and UK are the main countries which are resisting Russian annexion of Ukraine, while America is getting more and more neutral by the day. Now let's try to understand it further. See, US has lost its interest in Europe. And also slowly for Russia, it is now clear to it that China is its main competitor and hence enemy. So Trump wants to get rid of Russia and maybe also tilt Russia toward its own side and also get a Nobel Peace Prize. And of course, rights to rebuild Ukraine and also get some rights for rare earth minerals and other minerals out of Ukraine territory. So it's a selfish driven interest basically. And as said, the other three countries, they fear Russia, and so they also want that the war should continue and Russia should be weakened economically as well as politically and if not geographically. Now let's come to the question of Ukraine and Russia. See, Russia, as I said earlier, that it wants to expand its territory, simple, and get back its lost, which it lost when USSR was disintegrated. So what is there for Ukraine, for Zelensky? See, Zelensky knows very well that he is there till the war continues because no one is going to look to him once the war is over because he is a person who is playing perfectly to the tune of European as well as the Americans and is in fact waging the war on behalf of basically the Europeans. So he also wants the war to be continued. So basically, if you see, no one wants that war to be ended. Everyone has its own reason that the war should continue, except for America, which also has its own interest in bringing peace to the region. Now, if you see the timing of this attack on Putin's residence is very critical. This is when Zelensky is meeting President Trump as well as Trump calls Russian president. So it's during this time when the peace talks are in progress. Clearly, it was an attempt to disrupt the peace process. So we have to understand who gains what. The Zelensky, of course, his purpose is solved if the peace process is broken. While the Russians are not that gone mad to create a fake story and make a threat to the world as well as Ukraine. So clearly, it's done on behalf. It's done by Zelensky and also on the orders or in cohesion with his European friends. So this should be clear to one and all. Hope I have been able to clear the present status of Russian-Ukraine war and also clear the various narratives that are being floated. With this, we stop here. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.